All right. Our today's topic is config TLS connection for SQL Server on Linux. Previously, we had a video on config TLS for Oracle. We also had a video for config TLS for IBM DB2. They both on Linux, so this is the third video, so we're going to do the similar thing. Config TLS connection for SQL Server on Linux. So we're going to follow Microsoft's documentation, and we're also going to correct some errors in its documentation. Okay, so let's get started. So let me bring up a web browser. So for this web browser, just do a Google search or similar keywords. So we'll get a Microsoft page, encrypt connections to SQL Server on Linux. Okay, let's click on this one. It's very simple, just a few steps. There's some prerequisite regarding the OpenSSL. And after that, we're going to just go ahead to follow the steps. So we're going to follow these steps. Step 1, it is generate a certificate. So the example is we're going to use self-signed certificate because we don't have CA certificate. So it is always self-signed for demo purpose. For CA, it's similar. Okay, so the step 1, according to Microsoft, you can see it. This is step 1. So the step 1 is basically using OpenSSL to create two files. One, it is called the private key file. Another, it is the certificate. So after that, we change the ownership and put the certificate into a certain location. So just review this paragraph. We noticed this line is going to error out because this is some extra. It shouldn't be there. Also, this line is going to fail because the private directory doesn't exist. So also, to my point of view, I don't think it's a good idea to put these things into the system location, like etc location. I would think it's better to put into the directory owned by MySQL instance, okay? Not MySQL. And a SQL Server instance or MS SQL, okay? MS SQL. All right. So after that, it's going to config. So it's basically just associate those cert and key with the SQL Server instance and restart the instance. After that, it's going to do the connection. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to copy this one and get started. Okay. So let's take a look at our current systems for this demo. Of course, first we're going to have a server. So we have a DB server. It is Oracle Linux OS and running SQL Server 2022 running on this server. So I prepared two machine. One, it is another Linux machine acting as a client. So that is Ubuntu 20.04. So we have SQL CMD installed for testing connection. We also have another Windows client machine. Windows 2022, we installed SSMS to do the connection. So let's do a connection test before we do the encryption, okay? So I'm going to connect. This is database engine. you can see it. My remote server I'm going to connect is 09. I'm going to use SA, user and password for the SQL Server authentication. So let me do a connection, okay? So it's connected. So if I run this query, okay, you can see it. All right, so right now I have 3 connections connecting from this Windows server called W22. Okay, so it's connecting to this connecting to the server. So let me also bring up a command line. So I'm gonna also test the Linux connection. Okay, so for the Linux, so this is my Ubuntu Linux. So I'm in the Ubuntu Linux server. So I'm going to run a SQL CMD. Okay, I'm going to retrieve the old command. So SQL CMD, the username, SA, the password is this one. So the server name is 09. So I'm going to do a connection. See, it's connected. So if I run this guy, so you can see it is connected to a remote SQL Server instance. It's on Linux, Oracle Linux version 9.3, and the version of SQL Server is 2022. It is developer edition. Okay, so that is just a demo. This diagram. So we just demoed. We can connect it from Ubuntu Linux, a client machine, using the SQL CMD for demonstration purpose. Also from a Windows machine from use SSMS. Okay. Also, you notice here the encryption option, it's false. That means when we connect from client to server, the encryption option is false. That means there's no TLS configured. So we're going to configure this to enable the TLS. So we would examine after that. So let me log on to the remote server, the Linux server for the Oracle Linux. So I'm in that server, and let's see. We can take a look at it. It is running. So let me see where it is. I probably just retrieve this the CTL. So status. So that is the SQL Server Linux running on the machine named 09. Okay. So now we're going to configure to make the connection to be encrypted TLS connection. So if we go back to the Microsoft documentation, so we're going to copy this one. As we already pointed out, and some errors, so we can file a bug for them to fix this. But we're going to make some modification and deviate from its original. Okay, so I'm going to make a copy. And so in this demo, I'm instead of user root user, I'm gonna use the MS user. Okay, so in this way, we don't have to deal with those permission things. Okay, so I'm switch to this MS SQL user. So if we do a ls, so you see that is the standard data location, log location, and secrets. So if you do a list, you can see it. Those directories is owned by this MS SQL, MS SQL, the MS SQL.conf that is owned by root. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a folder to make a directory to hold this certificate. So we're gonna generate the self-signed certificate. Okay. So I'm gonna call it SQL TLS. Okay. So this is so let's cd to this location. SQL TLS. So let's create the file. Okay. So I'm gonna create a file called create cert. Let's call it a cert. Okay, cert.sh. All right. So I'm gonna paste the command from the Microsoft documentation. So we're gonna make some change. Okay. So for the CN common name is in our case, my name is very simple. So I'm going to just use the 09. So I don't need to change, but in the real world, you probably have to change this MS SQL key, MS SQL PAM key, the name. Okay, so this is the name. So and the days is how the expiration day. Okay. All right. So this is first line. So the second line, probably we don't need this one because it's currently we are using the this user, and so we will find out, and we're gonna remove these things. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, let's try it. So let me cut out this file, do it line by line. Okay, so in this way it is so I'm going to run this command first. So the option is the days. Okay, doesn't matter. So you can pick up 1 year or 10 years, something like that. Okay, so let's run this first. Okay, let's see what is going to happen. Now you can see the key and the cert is being generated. So you can see it right now. The key, it is the permission is 600. That's fine. And this one, it is 655. So this one we need to change. But we don't need to change the ownership because we use this user itself. So that means we don't need this one, but we do need this one. Okay, so we basically change 600, change this file. Okay, so we just want to be 600 file. Okay, so now you can see both the key and the PEM file. It is owned by this user, instance user, and also by the permission is that. All right, so now we even don't need to run these two, okay? Because we can just leave these two files in this folder, okay? So we're gonna leave this file in this folder, okay? So let's see the folder. So this is the folder where we put this file. So step one is complete. You can see it is much simpler than the SQL Server documented, okay? And let me go to the, where it is, here it is. All right, so let's go to the step 2, okay? So step 2 is configure the SQL Server to use the key, okay? So let's copy this paragraph and go to the command line. So we're gonna see called the config TLS. I just we can run this script if it's ready, but I just so because I need to make some change, right? So for this one, because our location is the current location, right? It is the one we just create, so we have to change these things. right? So that's going to be the current directory. Let me do a pwd and copy this line and make the change, okay? So, all right, so we're going to change this line to be this way, okay? So, insert, okay. All right, do the same thing. So we just, put in the same location, key and pen. So we don't necessarily to do this stop, because after we do this one, they will restart the SQL Server. Okay, so I think I can delete this one. I don't need this one, but I do need this three. So make sure that MS SQL user have the sudo privilege to run these things. Otherwise, you have to use another user to have similar privilege. Okay. So because this is a demo, so and then just So before we do that, let's take a look at the MySQL conf. This is the current one. Or it is in the upper directories. So this is the current msql.conf. It's very simple. There's nothing, and it's by the default install. Okay. So we're gonna just run this for command and to associate the SQL Server instance with this key and certificate. Okay. And let's go to return. It says, please run the restart. Okay. Before we do that, let's cat this file again. You can see the basically just adding some entrance to that file. Okay. You see the adding 4 entrance to the network section. The TLS certificate is pointing to the where we just put there or created there. The TLS key. So it's very simple and straightforward. Okay. It is much easier than the Windows, okay, because everything is so clear. And this is the protocol. Right now we use 1.2. This is another thing. You can Google what does that mean, okay? So now it is ready to, so we're going to restart it. So we're going to restart the SQL Server instance. So it's going to be this one. Restart, yeah. MySQL service. So we're gonna restart it. SQL sudo system CTL. Okay, system CTL or system cutoff. All right, so let's do a status check. Okay, status MS. Okay. Now it's running. Okay, so it's running. So now it's ready for us to run some tests. Okay, so I may just skip this register the certificate on the client machine. Okay, so I just want to do a test right now. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect this one and reconnect, because now the SQL Server restarted on 09. This the database server, so I'm gonna just try reconnect, okay, to see what happens. Okay, the same instance name SE. Let's see if we can connect. Okay, now you can see it doesn't work. Okay, because on the server. Yeah, still thinking. Okay, so let's try similar thing. I'm gonna use, oh, it is connected. Okay, so interesting. All right, so it's connected. let's go to the run the same query. So I'm going to run this query again to see what's going on. So when we run this, you can see it, and the encryption option, it's false. It's still false. Okay. So let's see. We're going to make a change. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to disconnect this one. So connect it again. So at this time, we're going to go to option. Okay. From option, we says enable connection and trust the server certificate. So we're going to use this option to connect. Okay. So now connected. So now we're going to run this again. Now you can see it's connected. Now it is also encrypted. Okay. So that means we basically connected. Early we connected, it is the encryption is now turned on because we didn't use this option. Okay, so I'm going to also do the similar thing for the Linux client. Okay, so for this one, let's try if we can connect. Okay, so with the same thing, we still connected, although they are on the server side, the encryption is already turned on. Okay. So let me run this again. Okay, now you can see the Linux connection from this server using CMD is true. So it's connected, right? Regardless, so another option is use -n. So I'm going to try one more time. Not this one, -n. All right, so let's refresh this. I'm going to refresh this one. Let's see. So, yeah, this is still connected. Okay. So, for these three, the false, it looks like it is the leftover. So, I'm going to exit my SQL Server. So I'm going to copy this one. Okay. Let me copy this one. And I'm going to exit my SSMS session. Okay. So I'm going to use this one to I think it's better use let me just write use a SQL. Okay. Check connection. So I'm going to use a SQL statement to check this connection. So because SSMS is established a couple of connections with the database. So SQL CMD is only single connection. So we're going to use this one. Okay. So I'm going to repeat this command. I'm going to use -i to run this query. Okay. So in this way, we probably this time only see one or two sessions, only one session. That's good. So I'm going to use -w, capital W. Okay. We don't want to see everything. So you can see it TCP IP. The session ID is 51. It is the encryption is true, and from this host, right? And using this SQL CMD. So we indeed see now the TLS connection is taking effect. It is encrypted. That means when we connect from the Linux client to the remote database server, the communication between them is under the encrypted. Okay, it's a TLS connection. So let me return to the SSMS again. Okay, so I'm initiate the SSMS. So now let's try one more time. Okay, so option. You see here, I checked the encryption option. I also checked trust server certificate because that is the self-signed. Okay, so I'm going to the connect. Now it is connected. Okay, so I'm going to rerun this from the command line. So in this way, it's easy for me to identify which is which. Okay, so for that one, we see all the connection from the W22. So SQL Server SSMS established 3 connections. Okay, you see SQL Server Data Studio framework, and well, hold on, 1, 2, oh, 2 connections, sometimes 3. But anyway, so it is the connection. So if we run a query, then establish another connection. That is what we saw earlier. Okay, so that means when we connect from client from both Windows and Linux, they establish encrypted TLS connection. So let me terminate this one and try one more time. Okay, so let's see. It take a little bit time to exit the SQL Server, the client, but it's still handling them. Let me close this app and retry. Okay. Once I close the SSMS, let's look at those SMS connections gone. Okay. So, but this time I just want to confirm if I untick these things, try the non-TLS connection, see what's going to happen. Okay, so it is connect. Okay, so that means we can connect both way. Right? So you see, for the Linux connection, it is, but for the SQL Server, because we didn't check the encryption, so as in the let's see the document from Microsoft. Okay, so it is stated as one. See, if you want to connect, you have to use the encryption the option, because the client need to initiate. It is a encrypt option. Okay, so let's see where it is. Yeah, here. So client initiated encryption. So the client using that like a SSMS, right? When we initiated the connection, so this is the option. So if we set encrypt option, then the initiated encryption server gonna respond. Okay. However, let me do one more test. Okay, so at this moment, everything is covered. Okay, so we covered how they config, and but I do want to test one more thing. But I think the video is too long right now, and I may add append to this some later time. Okay, so. All right, so that's basically for today. And still, let's do a quick summarize. Okay, so a quick summarize is what we did is we set up the TLS connection on a SQL Server on Linux. After that, we did a test from Linux client. Successful. It is encrypted. I think that is because by default, this SQL CMD, it is initiate the encrypting connection. That is why it is always true. However, when we use SMS, we have option to either initiate an encryption option or not. So we can connect it both way. Okay. So I'm thinking, let's see what my thought process is going to be. I need to run a test to confirm. Okay. So if you get this conf, right? This is called false encryption equals 0. So I'm going to do a test later to see false connection encryption equals 1 to see what's going to happen. Okay. All right. But for today's video, so we're going to stop here. Right.